All right, one of the great things about this segment is we take questions from our viewers, and we have the first one.
Hi, my name is Chris Cook, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And I would just like to know your stance on immigration heading into 2020. Thank you.
It's a good question. A lot of people want to know.
Yes, Chris asks a very fair question. I think that for some time we've wanted our Congress to take action on this issue. And we've been talking about this in Arizona since 2007. I think since then it's morphed to not just a state issue, but it's a national issue. Too often it gets confused or conflated with border security. I'm someone who believes that we can have a secure border and we can have an immigration system that works and that you can actually understand. It's been in many ways the secret sauce of our economy and the dynamism in our country. Everywhere I go, Mark, I hear people say that we can't find people for jobs. We have more jobs available than people to fill them. We also know there's some issues in our immigration system that need to be solved by law, and there's a sense of urgency on that. I'm speaking specifically about the DACA kids. So I'd like to see Congress get this done. It's something that I would advocate for. I think if you left it to the nation's 50 governors, we could figure it out, but we need Congress to act on this.
Well, you guys are the ones with the boots on the ground, and
yes.
So you should have a major voice in this, I would think.
Yes. We were outspoken as a conference on the USMCA. We were actually able to see Congress in this divided time get that passed, with Mexico being our #1 trading partner, ×4. It's not even close. That's going to be very good for our economy, but as the economy grows, we're going to need more workers inside that economy. And I think we can do that while supporting wage growth. Arizona right now is a top 3 state in terms of wage growth and seeing a growing middle class. We actually lifted more people out of poverty in our state than any other state in the country last year, and that's with a booming economy. So that's something I think people should feel positive about, and I give the credit to our hardworking employees and entrepreneurs and business owners, but also some good policies.
Let me ask you about sanctuary cities. Were you surprised at the backlash on the proposal you put on sanctuary cities in Arizona, trying to get it into the state constitution? And why, in the end, did you decide to back off?
Well, I think people need to understand there are no sanctuary cities in the state of Arizona. It's against the law legislatively to have them. Most recently, we had an outside group that tried to legalize sanctuary cities in Tucson, and the measure failed. It was actually defeated 70-30. So what we want to make sure is that there's good policy in the state of Arizona. We don't want to import some of these bad ideas that are happening in places like California, and that's why the effort was there.
Why did you decide to sort of back off getting it into the Constitution?
We don't want to make perfect the enemy of very good, and where we are right now. We thought there was a lot of misunderstanding and confusion around it, and today there are no sanctuary cities in the state. If somebody wanted to move that forward, I'm confident that we would be able to stop it.
Okay, let's go back to another viewer question. This is from Melina Thompson. She writes, why are we building a physical wall instead of using technology to monitor the border? Why not use infrared drones and seismic equipment that would help keep our Border Patrol safer?
It's a really good question, and I agree with the viewer. I believe barriers, and that's when we talk about a wall, they are effective. I mean, we're thinking about human trafficking, child sex trafficking, and of course, drug cartels. But much of this technology is rather recent in that we could use that, and I think we should be having a combination of technology, physical barriers where necessary, and then actual boots on the ground, actual people observing, so that we can stop bad guys that are trying to come across our borders and bring this poison that's infecting some of our schools and neighborhoods. But it's got to be a combination of things. There's not just one answer to this very real issue at the border.
It's a complex issue, and protesters were down at Organ Pipe National Monument this morning, where a mountain will be blasted to build a portion of the wall. Many consider that, the indigenous tribes, to be sacred ground. How do you find the sweet spot between not trampling on the rights of our tribes, our Native Americans, and at the same time getting this border wall built?
Well, we can protect historical sites, we can protect sacred sites, and we can also have border security. So this is something you want to make sure that you're working with the principals that are in leadership for the tribes, that we've got people at the top level of Homeland Security that are communicating so that we can achieve both and have the appropriate respect while at the same time making our state safer.
Do you worry about lawsuits down the road when you go through and you do have to go into sacred tribal land?
Well, I want to avoid lawsuits. It's a very litigious society, and there's a lot of people that
right?
are making a lot of money off of those lawsuits. If you're doing the right thing, if you're following the law, and you're properly communicating, you of course have the ability to do your job.
It can't be easy being a governor in a border state when you have situations like this.
We're going to have situations like this, but I signed up for it, and I'm encouraged by the direction of the state, by some of the things that we've been able to mitigate. There's always going to be problems to solve, but some of the issues that we were facing from a security perspective, from a humanitarian perspective, are so much better than they were just a year ago.